I'm here with Senator Durbin. I'm with Stark Report, and the question I had for you is whether or not you knew that Chairman Bernanke has said that he's less concerned about unemployment, even when we're at 10%, than he is about controlling inflation.
Well, I asked him that point blank when I met with him on Monday. We went through 4 or 5 issues. Disclosure of the funds that have been spent and invested by the Federal Reserve, and he's giving me an assurance that he is in favor of GAO review, transparency, and accountability. He would draw the line on policy decisions at the Fed, and I understand that. I think that is a reasonable line to draw because it has to continue to be an independent, non-political agency. Secondly, I asked him about the question of consumer protection. He tells me there are some 200 employees at the Fed that have been actively involved in consumer protection. He went through a long list of things which they believe they've accomplished over the last several years. I told him that most of those things were not well known and that he would, I think, be in better shape in terms of his nomination if he made those clear and also continued what he considers a commitment to this consumer issue. We talked about the dual responsibility of the Fed to deal with the concerns over inflation and employment. And he did not tell me that he favored one over the other. I certainly would have taken note of that. He did believe that the Fed was doing what it can do at this point by reducing interest rates to record low levels for long periods of time to try to create business expansion and the creation of jobs. What else we talked about? There were some other things, but those are the 3 major ones.
Another thing that gives progressives pause, and by the way, he made that statement about wanting to remain a inflation hawk. He made that statement to Brad DeLong as to why he doesn't target inflation at 3%. He said he was more concerned about maintaining the Fed's reputation as an inflation hawk rather than doing the things that may, spark the economy and get more hiring. But the other thing that gives progressives pause is he was asked during testimony about the long-term fiscal prognosis of the country, considering our deficits and national debt. And what he said was, when he was asked about tax cuts, he said, "That's a policy thing. I don't want to wade into that because it's something for the Senate and House to consider, the president." But then when he was asked about entitlements, he said, that's where the money is. Willie Sutton said that's where the money is. That's probably the best way of getting our fiscal house in order. So progressives are concerned that, you've got a guy that was part of Bush's economic team, appointed by Bush in the first place. We've got conservative stewarding the economic ship at a time that conservative policies have been disproven over and over and over again and led us to where we are today. Why do you think Democrats are supporting him to the extent that they are?
I don't quarrel with your premise, and I think it's a reason many of us thought about this long and hard and actually met with him and looked for some explanations on some of the issues you've raised. I also think you have to concede that his skill helped us through one of the darkest recessions we faced, and we could be in much worse shape without that. I trust the president's judgment. I know the president is in contact with him and has nominated him. So at this point, I support his nomination. I will continue to be vigilant about the issues that you raised.
Senator, the last thing I'd say is that I know he gets a lot of credit for getting us out of the hole that a lot of people think he dug for us. But if you give me $1.2 trillion, I can fill in a lot of holes as well.
I'm not going to give it to you.
Take care. Thank you.